habit stacking is an amazing process. I've been doing it for years and didn't even realize it. I actually did a podcast about it recently, and I talked about how I've been doing these things my entire life, and I just considered it, the routine, the thing of the day. But I realized after looking at habit stacking a little bit closer that that's really what I have been doing. I have been stacking good habits on top of each other to ensure that I maintained their consistency and that I had optimized the use of that particular habit. So, hey, have you ever walked in somebody's office and thought, oh my gosh, their desk is filled to the brim? Or maybe you walked in someone's house and you're like, oh my gosh, every possible surface in their kitchen is taken up with something. Well, I have experience with that, not only in other people's homes, but in my own. My husband has an affinity for piles, let's just say. But if you talk to them, their reply is probably going to be, there's a method to my madness. Whether you are a pile maker or the clutter queen, in this episode, I have got 3 tips for creating a method to your madness that actually works. The first thing I want you to do is to understand your needs and optimize your actions. There are 3 things here that are important: your personal framework, forming the appropriate habits and identifying the negative ones, and then stacking habits on top of habits so that you can optimize your action. Let's dig in. Your personal framework, we've talked about 1,000 times here on the channel. It is really identifying your strengths, knowing your limitations, identifying the end game, being very clear about that, and then recognizing any triggers or bottlenecks or non-negotiables that could prevent you from achieving your goal. Next, form the right habits. You may already have habits, but you want to look at them very closely and identify if they are working for you. If they are, keep them. If they're not, identify them. Make sure that you are doing something to overcome them or to minimize the action of doing the habit in the first place. And lastly, one way to do that is to habit stack. If you are stacking on top of really good habits, then the odds of you pushing those negative habits out of bounds are higher. Think about it. If you want to stop drinking soda, drink more water before you drink soda. And when you stack these habits, give yourself a reward. Let's just say you want to have a soda, but you have to have 3 glasses of water first. What did you do? You pushed down the bad habit, but you rewarded yourself with it after performing the good habits. So when you are understanding your needs and optimizing your actions, you're going to use your personal framework. You're going to identify the habits that are working and identify the ones that are not. And then you're going to habit stack on top of the ones that are working and give yourself a reward for doing a good job. What's the next thing that you want to do if you are creating a method to your madness? Well, you want to use business process management to stay organized. First thing that I suggest you do here is to create what I call circumstances for optimal success. If you've been watching lately, I've talked about this in the recent past. And by using your personal framework, what you are able to do is use your strengths and use what you know are your limitations to set yourself up for success regardless of the circumstances. If you know what you need, write it down, make a list. This is what I'm going to need to make sure I have done my absolute best and shown up as my best on this project. This is where I need to delegate because I am not proficient in this particular area. These are the things that I'm not going to tolerate on this project, and I'm going to get those up front and talk about them up front. Trust me, when you set up those circumstances for optimal success, when the project is complete, you will know that you did not leave anything on the table, and there won't be regrets. If it doesn't go well, if things don't work out, you'll be able to look at those set of circumstances and realize that you brought your A game, and whatever happened was the result of whatever happened. Here also, I want you to manage your business processes. There are several things in here, 3 at least, that I want to talk to you about. Number 1, identify the processes that are working in your business. If you have a method to your madness already that is working, it's yielding results, you're seeing positive results from it, make sure you jot that down because there could be an area where you can duplicate that process. Next, I want you to look at the gaps in any areas. Where are you missing the boat? Where is there something going on in your business where you're putting forth effort, but you're not seeing the results that you want to see? This is an area and an opportunity for you to do a little mapping, understanding where the gap is, and then doing your best to create the system or the process that's going to help you fill the gap. You need a more effective strategy here. And then once you've used this new process for a certain amount of time, this is an opportunity for you to really look at it and evaluate it and make sure it's going to work. And then if it doesn't, adjust where necessary. Here you want to look for things like waste, inefficiency, areas that you can automate, just basically establishing best practices for whatever it is you're doing. Now, if you are tracking with me so far, I am so excited because I have got a tool for you. I've created a habit stacking worksheet that is going to be linked down in the description box below, so make sure you grab that. I think it's going to be so helpful. Habit stacking is an amazing process. I've been doing it for years and didn't even realize it. I actually did a podcast about it recently, and I talked about how I've been doing these things my entire life, and I just considered it, the routine, the thing of the day. But I realized after looking at habit stacking a little bit closer that that's really what I have been doing. I have been stacking good habits on top of each other to ensure that I maintain their consistency and that I had optimized the use of that particular habit. So that habit stacking tool is definitely something you're going to want to grab down at the bottom. Guys, it is such a beautiful day. It didn't start off that way, but it is quite pretty. And I thought I could do this video outside, but I am hot. Oh my gosh. Let's get into point number 3, and that is where I want you to create a workflow for consistency and productivity. Now, guys, workflows are important. It's like your 1, 2, 3. It's the checklist of things that make sure what you're doing stays consistent, that people will be able to recognize you and they will know that it's quality, and you will also have a way to measure whatever it is you're doing. You'll be able to identify or track where there are challenges or bottlenecks or stressors, or where things are working and where you need to duplicate or double down. Workflows help you to assign tasks to people based on their skills and their strengths. And this is going to help you improve productivity and also employee engagement. Having a solid workflow helps with communication. It's an efficient workflow, and it can help you improve coordinating between team members or managers so that your information is being disseminated properly. You can allocate resources, and this is knowing where your deficiencies lie and when to use resources to overcome those deficiencies. This is all a part of a workflow. Like I said, you can track where things are working and where things are not. Also, workflows hold you accountable. They help with accountability by analyzing your organization, what's going on, and giving audits and feedback. And this is a great process to use when you're doing things like annual reports, or if you have to compile data in any way. If you've been consistent in your workflow, like I said, finding that information, knowing what's working, what's not working is going to be so much easier. Guys, when you have a method to your madness, I promise you, you are going to be more productive. The consistency is going to be on point, and you will be able to track and really identify where pivots need to be made or where adjustments are necessary, who's working in your business, who's not, maybe who is going to work if you are trying to onboard new people. But for the practice of creating a method to your madness, these 3 tips I think are so helpful in helping you to organize and be consistent and be productive. I'm gonna walk through them one last time. I want you to understand your needs and optimize your actions. I want you to use business process management to stay organized. And then I also want you to develop workflows for consistency and productivity. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you never miss an episode. Hit that bell notification and join me again next week. Here on this channel, I am talking about how you can put the BU in your business. I'm sharing business strategies, whether it be marketing, leadership, or business process management here with you on this channel. And I think that it is a great way for you to put the BU in your business. I look forward to seeing you again next week. And if you have any questions or concerns, please give me a comment down below. Comments. Let's engage. Tell me about your workflow. Tell me about the method to your madness. All right, I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye, guys.